Hi everyone, this is Yunomi here. I draw for fun and I make videos for fun. And today I want to talk about Tonikaku Over the Moon for You. Oh gosh, this is good. This is way better than Rent a Girlfriend personally. And I've been meaning to get into a decent romance anime because Rent a Girlfriend didn't do it for me. Snafu, well, it's been too long since I've seen season 1 and 2. So when season 3 came out, I was just like, can't be arsed. But, hey, this anime is good. Anyway, so we open with the MC talking about how he doesn't want to die because we see him covered in blood and we don't know what's happened to him. And we get a girl who's over him and tells him, relax, you're not going to die. Then we get the opening, which is cute as hell. I love that. Oh gosh, the visuals, the music, everything about that OP, I love it. And then we cut to the MC talking about his life growing up. His parents had high hopes for him, so they called him Starry Night, or also known as NASA, which is also, the space station NASA. He got bullied for, the name NASA because, they're like, oh, you want to be an astronaut? And, the teachers would laugh at his name. So he decided to do well in school in order to earn their respect, as well as, working out. You see those weights in the corner, I see them. And then we cut to him telling his teacher that he wants to go to one of the top high schools, and he thinks he can get in. And when he says that, he's literally exuding and illuminating confidence. So I'm like, okay, bro, I see you. Go on, do your thing. Then the teacher says, you don't have a backup though. To which he says, yeah, I don't need one. Then he says, I'll reach the speed of light before NASA does. This guy's an idiot, man. She then comments about how, just because you're smart doesn't mean you have, common sense. She then says that if you fail, you realize that you'll have to wait a year, to which he's like, nah, that won't happen. Don't worry. So then we cut to him walking home, and he says to himself, at this rate, I'll pass those entrance exams easy. Then my guy sees this girl across the road and instantly decides she's cute and wants to talk to her. Bruh, he doesn't even look 2 ways before crossing. He just sees her and goes. That's a different type of confidence right there. So obviously this van is coming at him because he's went across the road without looking. And we see that before he's actually hit, in his eyes, we see that there's the girl's there. So she's one in front of the van before him. And then what happens next? So then, he wakes up and the guy comes out of the van and says, oh my goodness, are you okay? And she's over him like, yeah, I'm fine, but you need to take him to a hospital. And then he says, yeah, that's okay, but you also need to go to the hospital. And then she says, nah, it's fine, don't worry about it. So obviously my guy NASA, he hears that this girl has taken most of the hit from the van and she's standing up and fine, but obviously he's worried. So he tries to talk to her, and then she says, you shouldn't talk, and when you wake up, you'll pretend you've never seen me. Then she walks away towards the moonlight, which made me think of Princess Kaguya. And thanks to freaking Kaguya-sama, I always think of that story, the Princess Kaguya thing, because I can just picture Shirogane just telling Kaguya about that story. Oh, I love it. That was great. But then NASA, what happens? So then we find out that NASA had the same thought as me. I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. And my dude is about to pass out. I need to get up because he realizes he didn't even get her name. I was like, bruh, really? Then the driver tells him not to move around since he's injured. But NASA says, don't worry about that, that's not important. Then NASA shouts that the girl is really cute. I'm like, okay, why was that? The driver didn't need to know that. So then he starts running. And then I'm thinking to myself, bro, didn't you just get hit by a van? Why are you running around like nothing happened? Anyway, he finds her and thanks her for saving his life. Then what happens then? And then when we see her, she's like, there's no like blood or anything, or like there was before. She's completely fine, no scratches, no nothing. So I'm thinking like, dude, are you an alien or are you from the moon or what? What's going on here? And she's really funny as well. She then like starts cleaning his face and then gives him her scarf and coat to like keep him warm, because obviously his is like wet from the snow. I have a cold, by the way. Then he says, he starts saying in his head that she's cute, and I'm thinking now, low key, I think she can read your mind. Then she leaves and says, okay, I'm going to call an ambulance. And before he can say, no, I'm fine, he then falls to the ground, and apparently his legs are broken, and the adrenaline will run out, so he'll pass out soon. That's what she says. And I'm like, nah, I don't care how much adrenaline you're on. My dude did a 100-meter dash with broken legs. Sis, something is wrong here. I'm sorry. No, that's not right. Anyway, she walks away. She walks out, and then my dude's about to pass out, and then he's like, nah. I need to go to her. So he goes to her, and then says that she looks like Princess Kaguya, and then he confesses to her. So she then walks away again, but then she turns back and around and says, we can be together if you'll marry me. He replies with a loud yes after 1 second of thought, literally, and then he passes out. So then we cut back to him being in hospital. He's rehabilitating from the accident. He's missed his exams, so he spent the time like studying to retake them. He gets the high score. Well, high score, like this is a video game, please. Life ain't no game, kid yourself. Anyway, so he retakes the exam, and he comes out on top with the top score, and then decides that high school's not for him. Then what happens? So I'm like, all of this happened before high school. Rah, I thought you were gonna get isekai or something, because when I saw that, you saw that girl, and then you hear a van, I'm like, nah, isekai, obviously isekai, and then she's in the isekai, but no, that's not what happened. What happens next? So he then says that he's spent, his time just getting a service job, hoping to run into her. He's rented a small apartment, and then he turned 18. I'm like, what? All this before you're even 18, my dude. Aye. And then obviously because he's worked so much, and doesn't spend much on like himself or like the apartment, he's got hella money. We see he's got a bank account. I'm like, bro, okay, fair enough. You're minted, my guy. So then she then turns up at his door. I'm like, dude, how does she know where you live? This is a bit sus. I don't care how cute she is. This is sus, dude. Anyway, she then introduces herself and says that, hi, my name is Tsukasa. And then I'm like, this is 13 minutes into the episode. How have you only just now told us your name? Anyway, so Tsukasa then calls him darling. I'm like, okay, good. You know what? I like this. Like, when I heard that, I was like, this isn't really important. It just, reminded me of early Darling in the Franxx. And I thought, yeah, okay, good. Notice how I said early Darling in the Franxx. Like, yes, I'm still salty over that ending, okay? Anyway, Nasa is excited about how, like, this is the first girl he's had ever over. He then comments how the room smells better because she's in it. Okay. Then Tsukasa hands Nasa the marriage registration. And then obviously he's a bit shocked. He then takes the papers because she's like, oh, don't worry about it. Then he's like, no. And then he confesses to her again. He says, yeah, I love you. So obviously she's taken aback. And I'm like, to be fair, I would be as well. Then we get some info on how like the paperwork for marriage works. I didn't know there was that much paperwork to do, to be honest. And I don't know if this is accurate or not, but I'm assuming it is. And he's worried that it's a scam. Like, he thinks to himself, this might be a scam. And then she smiles, and then he instantly starts signing everything. Tsukasa then starts saying like her full name as if she and Nasa are like married already. And she likes her new name, Uzaki. Was it Uzaki Tsukasa? So then we cut to them like walking to the station, to the office, the marriage office, registration office, whatever. And he then starts saying that he's surprised that she hasn't laughed at his name. And then Tsukasa then says she starts giving information about the NASA space station and its mission to like go to the moon. And then she says that the name NASA, implying him, is a fantastic name. And I'm like, aye, come on, love that. Then we get to the registration office, which is apparently open 24 hours. The guy asks for the papers, and then says that young love is to be celebrated, then gives them a free plant as a gift. And then we get like this intense scene with NASA like holding hands for the first time. He then says that he says something like, if marriage is an all I can grab, then this is great. And then he's like embarrassed because like he said that out loud, saying, this isn't a buffet. And then she grabs his hand, and then like they walk together because she obviously like likes him. Tsukasa then says, like, we get to another cut. Tsukasa then says that there's something she needs to take care of, and she'll come by later, and then asks NASA if he has 2 futons. And then he's like, no, I have the one bed. And then she's like, okay, cool. And then she walks away. He's then excited about the fact that because they're married, they're going to sleep in the same bed. I'm like, bro, I don't think that's how it's going to work. I highly doubt that. Simply because in the opening, we saw like them like sleeping, and she had like pink covers and he had blue covers. So I'm assuming that they're not going to sleep in the same bed or the same futon. So yeah, don't get too happy. Also, I'm pretty sure Tsukasa heard him, because then she starts, we see her, she's smiling and she's blushing at the same time. I'm like, okay, this is good. So yeah, that was the first episode. I really liked it. Okay, I liked it so much I watched it twice. That's how much I liked it. It's really good. I hope the following episodes are just as interesting and it doesn't fall off like Rent a Girlfriend. But anyway, yeah, that's the end of the video. Hope you liked it. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at nessie.art, and yeah, goodbye.